So this time I'm going to be introducing the Ultra-Humanite. The Ultra-Humanite was created in June 1939. First appearance was Action Comics number 13, created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. And not only was he the first supervillain of Superman, he is generally regarded as the first supervillain in comic history. He appeared in six comics in the Golden Age, almost sequentially, starting with Action Comics 13 and ending in Action Comics 21 in 1940. And if you look at the pictures here, most of them, a vast majority of them, show him as an albino gorilla, which was not his first appearance. His original appearance was like this. And as a bald-headed scientist, sometimes bald, even in the first 6 issues, it was a little bit inconsistent. Here is one where he's got kind of the tuft of hair in the back. So sometimes he seemed completely bald, sometimes not. But he bears a striking resemblance to Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor would be created in Action Comics number 23. So just a few issues after the end of the Ultra-Humanite. And when Lex Luthor was first created, he had a full head of hair. It wasn't until later that he went completely bald. Or bald at all, because he, like I said, he had a full head of hair. The Ultra-Humanite is a bit enigmatic, at least in the Golden Age. Perhaps his backstory was filled out a bit more later on. But in the first issue, when he meets Superman, he describes himself as being a scientific... Well, he says that a scientific experiment resulted in him possessing the most agile and learned brain on Earth. And so the Ultra-Humanite isn't his villain name. That's his name. There's no other name for him. So I don't know what this scientific experiment... He doesn't offer any more information in the Golden Age about what he means by that he's some kind of aberration. When it first starts off, it's basically just kind of various money-making schemes. And he actually at one point says that he needs to raise capital. In the 4th issue, his 4th appearance, he does seem to unleash his big plan, but dies at the end. And then returns in his 5th appearance as the actress Dolores Winters. He has directed his subordinates to transplant his brain into the actress Dolores Winters. I actually think the 5th story, in my opinion, was the best of the 6 because as you don't know at the beginning that Dolores Winters is the Ultra-Humanite. So it's kind of a mystery as what is going on with this woman because her behavior is absolutely insane. Now, that was after his plan in issue 4 fails, he seems to kind of go back to trying to collect capital, basically doing like hostage taking and extortion to gather money. Again, dies this time as Dolores Winters, and that was it for the Golden Age. Now, the Ultra-Humanite's next appearance was in 1974 in Superman Family number 201, and then made a few more appearances. This was a bit weird. I've never read these stories before, but basically they're kind of those Superman, where Superman and Lois Lane marry, but I don't think by 1974 they were still treating it as a joke, and for whatever reason, apparently the Ultra-Humanite was showing up as Dolores Winters in these stories. After that, he'd go on hiatus again until 1981, and this is the story. I used to have the original comics, but this is a compilation, the Crisis on Multiple Earths number 6, where he would now appear completely different as a albino ape, the Ultra-Humanites. Greetings, old friends and new friends. So we have a flashback, and it says, even Luthor, because so the one of the characters says that he is perhaps even smarter than Alexei Luthor, which would be the Earth 2 Luthor, because of his ability to transplant his brain. He says nobody knows how many people the Ultra-Humanite has been, not even him. So the implication is that he has been around for quite some time. After that, we had an appearance in the All-Star Squadron. These are the original. I have two of them. I used to have a lot more, but unfortunately, I got rid of them, a lot of them. I don't know why this series has never been turned into an omnibus. I think it would be a fantastic series to do that with. He made appearances between, this was in 1983, between issues 21 through 26, and then the annual number 2. So in the story here, it came out in 1981. It would have taken place in 1981, whereas the All-Star Squadron was Retrocon going back to 1942. So in this story, it's 1942, and he is still Dolores Winters. So now the final issue where he appears in the actual Golden Age would have been 1940. So this would be 2 years later, and apparently Dolores Winters did not die, and we actually get the explanation in this comic as to how Dolores Winters continued to live. Dolores Winters has the Power Stone, which was another item from the 1940s, where, and I own that story. I have not ever done that story, but Lex Luthor got this Power Stone that made him incredibly powerful. And from then on, the Ultra-Humanite basically just stayed as that albino gorilla. And I guess that, according to the story in the Justice League, he got tired of having these kind of flimsy human bodies and decided to go all out and mutate a gorilla and have a much stronger body. And you can see that the vast majority of the pictures are of him as an albino gorilla. And the character has become very enduring and very popular. So he's in the animations, appeared in Justice League. It appeared as actually, I believe, an albino dinosaur in Batman Brave and the Bold. He was in Young Justice. He was in Stargirl. So the character has been very enduring, but enduring as the albino. It would have been interesting if the Ultra-Humanite had continued to change bodies, but I think people liked the albino gorilla, and sometimes it's shown to have a huge brain, and sometimes not. Well, I guess maybe even in the first appearance, he seemed to have an enlarged head. I think it's a very, very interesting, very compelling villain, and I hope people enjoy seeing the first 6 appearances of the Ultra-Humanite.